Hello, and welcome back to Dear Old State Update, brought to you by Penn State Sports Night. I'm Braun Leiber, joined alongside by Chris Machado. New York Jets 20-year-old Braylon Allen did just that by becoming the youngest NFL player in the current Super Bowl era to score a touchdown. The running back quickly made his presence known in their matchup against the Tennessee Titans, as both teams looked for their first win of the season. At this current moment, the Texas Rangers and Houston Astros are balling it out for Game 7 for not only the Texas title, but for who will be joining either the Phillies or the Diamondbacks in the finals later this week. The Penn State wrestling team has been crowned your Big Ten regular season champions. They are now 11-0 and 8-0 in the Big Ten after defeating number 3 Nebraska. This is their 10th Big Ten regular season championship under head coach Cael Sanderson. The Nittany Lions wrestled in front of nearly 6,600 fans for the 71st straight-out sellout in Rec Hall. And then I was checking on y'all's website, and I saw you take occasional trips to law enforcement agencies and even prisons. Have you gotten to partake in any of those?
I have.
With temperatures on the rise, Penn State winter sports are melting away, and spring sports are blossoming into full swing. Now, for the second time in program history, Penn State women's hockey made an NCAA tournament appearance. They were handed the 14th seed when their season came to a quick end after a heartbreaking loss against number 7 St. Lawrence. The sports world is mourning this week as NBA Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo and MLB hits leader Pete Rose both passed earlier this week, just hours apart. Mutombo died at the age of 58 from brain cancer, leaving a legacy larger than his 7'2" stature for his philanthropic work done with the Special Olympics. A'ja Wilson became the first WNBA player to score 1,000 points in a single season when she finished with 29 in the Las Vegas Aces' 84-71 win over the Connecticut Sun. On Sunday, this wasn't her first accolade of the season though, as just last week she set the WNBA single-season scoring record when she surpassed 940 points. Even though the games are still 5 years away, former NFL players such as Rob Gronkowski have spoken out saying, "Count me in," and "I'm going for that if there is flag football in the Olympics in 2028. USA going all the way." It is unsure when we will see these trials take place and who will be allowed to partake, but what we know for sure is flag football is joining the Olympics. Sunday was a New York rivalry on the ice, drawing in the third largest crowd in NHL history. The Islanders came out hot with a 3-1 lead. However, the Rangers mounted a huge 2-goal comeback against the Islanders in the final 5 minutes of regulation, securing a 6-5 win in the first 10 seconds of overtime. The Lady Lions will take on St. John's Thursday night with tip-off taking place at 7 p.m. Talking Hoops men's basketball is also off to a strong start with new faces both on the court and the sidelines. After a historic March Madness run last year, having beat the 7-seed Texas A&M before falling just short to the 2-seed Texas Longhorns, men's basketball is back, just simply with a new look. Tyrone took unfamiliar roads to BG, a team they had not played since 2006. It was Bishop Guilfoyle's senior night, and on the first drive, Tyrone's quarterback Ashton Walk is picked off by Trent Adams, who takes it the distance, giving BG the early 7-0 lead. The Golden Eagles didn't fly off, however, as Brady Rowan took the handoff to the house for a 40-yard touchdown at Tyrone, tying it for a score of 7-7. Penn State faced off against Michigan State last week in a Valentine's Day matchup at the Bryce Jordan Center. Nick Kerr loops it around his back just to lose control, and it's recovered by Jaden Akins, who books it down the court for a windmill of a dunk there. 2 minutes later, Jameel Brown brings it around the paint and hands it off to Ace Baldwin, who gives a little hezzy there and just centers up to let it fly, putting it away for 3 for Penn State. Thanks, Jenna. Bald Eagle currently leads undefeated on the season, building off their PIAA championship from last year. However, that could all change here today as they face off against the Huntington Bearcats, who have Ryan Sheffield. Sheffield managed to get on the plate every single time he stepped up to bat in their last victory. We currently sit here in the third inning, in which the Bald Eagle is leading 2-0. We'll have to wait the remainder of the game to see if the Eagles can continue this lead in this hostile environment set by the Bearcats. Back to you guys at the studio. You're certainly right, Evan. Salazar was a big part of State High's success, not only tonight, but in the season. Tonight, he had another milestone performance. Ty Salazar is collecting accolades and records along with touchdowns for State High this season. Salazar spends lots of time on the field as both a wide receiver and corner for the Little Lions, but his stats prove he makes an impact on both ends.
Honestly, it's definitely tough trying to get all the energy to come out every single drive, every single series. But I think they kind of play hand in hand. There's a lot of things that are similar. There's a lot of things that are different.
Yeah, Ty is pretty special. We have a number of those guys that really are playing on both sides, but Ty is definitely a guy that's been out there doing it for a number of years. And to have the success that he has, a pick six and 2 touchdowns on offense, and he's in on every play.
Salazar set a record just within the first quarter, already putting up 14 points. With that second touchdown, Ty Salazar officially becomes Center County's all-time receiving touchdown leader. This is after becoming the county's all-time receiving yards leader just last week. Both offensive touchdowns came from connections made with quarterback Eddie Corkery. Corkery says their chemistry began long ago and happens on and off the field.
During the summer, I don't think there was a day that we weren't at the turf, working, getting our timing together. And that's like my best friend.
Salazar entered tonight's game versus Carlisle with 891 receiving yards, just missing the 1,000-yard mark, with something to work for heading into their senior night game next week. Salazar also says the 3,000-yard mark is something he has in the back of his mind. But he also showed his talents on the defense with a 60-yard pick six. Live in the studio, I'm Bronwyn Leiber. Back to you, Kennedy. Despite being a top 10 ranked team, the Nittany Lions fell 2-3 on the road to Purdue Fort Wayne. Looking to bounce back, they came home to face FDU in celebration of Family Fun Day. As the Nittany Lions took to the court, it was clear it was not their typical powerhouse starting lineup.
I think with us being so short-staffed on middles, it's just kind of like one bad play away from me having to step in. So I always need to be ready to come in. And even if I'm not as experienced as those other guys, I come in, try my best, and get the results that we get.
This new gel of blue and white certainly had its cracks when they dropped an extended second set to FDU, but managed to adjust quickly to take the final 2 sets and secure victory. Intentional. That is the word continuously used by head coaches and players of this Penn State team. Players Carter Dittman and Zach Stowe arose from the shadows to really step up in light of recent injuries and illnesses to bounce back and allow Penn State this 3-1 victory against FDU.
You got to stick together, right? No matter what you do. Even in this scrum, you guys are sticking together and supporting each other. And I think more than anything else, that's probably the answer. Stay invested and be intentional with it.
The Nittany Lions will now have a quick turnaround as they enter the EIVA, starting off with Princeton. Still uncertain of what the lineup will read, but planning to be intentional through it all. For Penn State Sports Night, I'm Bronwyn Leiber.